Welcome to TRL Stadium. It's great to have you joining our broadcast this evening for this Round 7 NRL NT DABSCO Premiership round. This evening we've got three games on the card. First up we've got the Palmerston Raiders up against the Darwin Brothers at 5:20pm NT time, followed by the Nightcliff Dragons. They'll take on the Northern Sharks. That's set to kick off at 7:10pm. And on field number 3 over at Warren Park we've got the Litchfield Bears taking on the South Darwin Rabbitohs, a 7:20pm kick-off there. We've got some highlights packages that will come up on the screen as we look to what happened last week in round 6 of the DABSCO Premiership. We saw Brothers 52 defeat the Northern Sharks 14, the Litchfield Bears 44, big winners over the Nightcliff Dragons 12, and the Raiders, the Palmerston Raiders 56 over South Darwin Rabbitohs 16. South Darwin Rabbitohs of course had those players fly in from Gove United, which added some strength to that Rabbitohs pack. The ladder coming into round 7 of the DABSCO Premiership, we've got 3 teams on 10 points. That is the Bears, Raiders and Brothers. They've all got a 5-1 record. They've only lost to each other. Bears sitting on top with a plus 154 for and against. The Raiders plus 132 and Darwin Brothers 112. Those 3 teams look set to establish themselves and will be going deep into finals football there. The big question mark, who will fill the 4th position? In 4th at the moment we've got the Nightcliff Dragons. They've got a 2-win, 4-loss record, negative 86 with the for and against. The Sharks, they're in 5th. They've won 1 game, 5 defeats, negative 74. And the South Darwin Rabbitohs yet to record a win for season 2025, a 0-6 record, negative 238. Our first game on the card tonight is Palmerston Raiders, who are the 2nd place team, up against Darwin Brothers, who are the 3rd place team. The last time they played was back in round 4, and Brothers were victorious 22 points to 12 over the Palmerston Raiders. Coming into this weekend's of football, both teams come in with some good form, with a good win last week. Brothers 52 over the Sharks 14, Raiders 56 over South Darwin 16. If we have a look at the team sheets tonight that have only just been confirmed, we do see the Darwin Brothers. They do have some players return to their backline. Last week their backline was absolutely decimated. There was no Yarran, there was no Rubu, and there was no Seed and Kernock. They're all back in the side. Caleb Nicky, he will remain in the centres, usually a back rower. Last week he ran out in the centres and he's been named in the centres again. Palmerston Raiders, well, last night in the Gutley Shield, there's a few players from the Palmerston Raiders first grade team that ran around with the reserve grade last night in the Gutley Shield. Potentially will have some sore bodies out there. Look, both teams, they're in the big 3. Both teams are such patient football teams. Both teams are experts at starving the opposition of the ball, playing clinical football, holding the ball, high percentage of ball security, field position. Probably means that will probably cancel each other out, and we'll have to see what the game plan is for both teams tonight. Will they bring something special? Both teams have got that depth in the football club, strength across the field, and the ability to sustain a high level of intensity. So it'll be really interesting to see what sort of game plan that they bring. Both teams do have some big match performers as well who are capable of opening up a game. It's definitely going to be a high stakes game this evening. As we hear the siren in the background to call for the players to come out onto the field, both teams have finished their warm-ups. They'll be taking the field in a few moments. So the stage is set for our first game here at TRL Stadium here in Darwin. Palmerston Raiders up against Darwin Brothers. It's 2 versus 3. As we welcome to the call, Chris will be joining the commentary.
And once again that this game is going to be live through the NRL NT Pathway YouTube channel. This is round 7 of the DABSCO.
Chris, you've had a look at the team sheets. Any notable changes that you'd like to mention before they take the field?
Brothers seem to be pretty standard. They've been lucky, obviously haven't had too many injuries, and we were talking last week about their ability with the consistency of their side, and it seems that's continued on pretty well today.
Just pointing out that backline of Brothers, it was decimated a little bit last week with no Rubu on the wing. Darren and Seed and Kernock were missing from the centres, They look like they've got Yaron back this week. Some players coming back hopefully for Darwin Brothers to get back to their regular side. Caleb Nicky is playing in the centres again this week, usually a back rower, but will line up today in jersey number 4. Kernoff and Coulton will be the halves yet again. They've got their standard forwards there. Cairo Ahmat, he's been strong all season. Tame Tupou.
Yeah, the big out that I can see there's probably Jonas Nicky, and also Trent Kernoff's not in there again. So they've been able to change things up a little bit.
They've demonstrated so far in the season that they've got strength and depth across the club. Trent just adds that extra dimension. He's aggressive in defence. In attack, he's a ball-playing front rower who is capable of slipping a pass.
And a very good defender in the middle of the field as well.
Darwin Brothers come out onto the field led by their 5'8" and captain Aaron Kernoff. Palmerston Raiders brought out by their halfback Bradley Hansen. It's interesting when you look at the results so far in this year's season. Brothers, Litchfield and Palmerston, they've only lost to each other.
Yeah, there's certainly a top 3 and the bottom 3 developing in the competition, with Sharks and Dragons who are playing the next game, fighting it out for that 4th spot. A number of new names that we haven't seen so far this year in this the Raiders side, but they are Raiders stalwarts. Steve Smith, Jay Franklin, Joel Taraga. So hopefully they're getting back into the swing of things and they'll strengthen this Raiders side.
29 degrees here in Darwin, good conditions for rugby league. Last night there was a little bit of water and a little bit of mud on the field. It looks to have dried out today. Brothers will be running right to left on the screen. Palmerston will be running left to right. The kick goes deep. The fullback, Callum Greenwood, couldn't take it on the first go and he brings it back out, and that's a great defensive start for Darwin Brothers, making the first tackle 2 out from the Palmerston Raiders line. Raiders centre field with the ball. Brothers 3 in the defence, pushing the Raiders back towards the 10-metre line. Raiders bringing it up to the 20-metre line. Look to get a quick play the ball. He gets to his feet. They go the open side. This is the front rower, Stephen Smith. He's up to the 30-metre line. Centre field plays it there. That's the 4th. They're going to kick. They go to Hansen. It's a short kick. Will it go out on the full? It has gone out on the fill. Well, Chris, not the start that Palmerston Raiders will have been looking for. They fumbled it from the kickoff. They looked to re-establish themselves with some runs, but then the kick from the halfback Bradley Hansen, it's come out on the full on the grandstand side, giving Brothers a great opportunity to go straight on the attack.
Yeah, an attempted 40-20. He's actually still in his 30, but skewed off the side of the boot, and Brothers have a great chance here.
Elijah Coombs now takes it centre field. He's met by 2 Palmerston Raiders defenders. Connor Williams at acting half. Which way will he go? He takes it to the right. That's the open side. 2 passes wide of the ruck through. Kernoff gets a short ball off. They're looking sharp, Brothers, early on. Williams from acting half brings it back to the left-hand side. This is Tobin. 3 out now from the try line. Brings it to the left. That's a high pass. Kernoff re-establishes it. Gets it over the top. Cuts out Nicky. Vadavai, he's got the ball. Beats 1. Beats 2. And he scores in the line. Well, it was a floating pass over the top. They cut out Caleb Nicky. They found Mikhail Vadavai. And he stepped 1. He stepped 2. And he crashed over right in the corner. And Darwin Brothers take a 4-0 early lead. Chris.
Yeah, good finish by Vitato there. I thought the play was going to break down with that overhead ball, which missed Caleb Nicky on the full, but they managed to steady and get the ball out, and the defence there was rather weak. 3 Raiders players coming across, but they just ineffectual. And a great start, for the Darwin brothers side. And as you mentioned, Cam, they do look pretty slick to start off the game.
We spoke in the pre-game that there's a lot of areas in this game that Palmerston and Darwin brothers will cancel each other out. Both depth across the field, both patient football teams, both good at controlling the football, high level of ball security and possession. Both teams are going to have to chance their arm, and we saw that early. Darwin brothers, they pushed it to the right, they pushed it to the left, they threw the cutout ball, and they've come up with an early try through Vataitai. And now Caleb Nicky in jersey number 4. He's absolutely, 20 centimetres in from touch. He's around 25 metres out from the try line. This is a difficult angle, a difficult kick. Do you back him in, Chris?
Yes.
Back the player. Brings it in. He's going to push it. Oh! It hits the crossbar. It looked like it was going to go to the left of the uprights. It came back in. Just didn't have enough legs to get over the crossbar. So it's 4-0.
Sorry, Caleb.
Brothers over the Raiders.
Commentator's curse.
4 minutes into the game. Oh, you backed him in. Showing confidence in there, and the brothers centre 3/4. Hansen will restart play for Palmerston. They kick to the sideline. It bounces. Brothers were able to get the ball just past the 20-metre line. Palmerston Raiders had a chance there. They're 30 metres out, about 2 metres in from touch. They've got a deep black line already, brothers. They'll take it through, one off from the ruck. They'll bring it up over the 30-metre line. Has that ball popped out? Referee says yes. And after you score a try, you want to get a good set of 6 and a great kick away. Darwin brothers haven't been able to complete that set of 6, giving Palmerston Raiders the loose head and the feed with the scrum, and an opportunity for them to go on the attack.
And their first possession in brothers half. So let's see what they can do with that. Hansen to feed the scrum.
A compressed back line there from Palmerston Raiders. Ball goes through their hands, eventually picked up by their 5'8" Anthony Bush. He played last night and was strong. He'll play the ball centre field. They'll bring it to the grandstand side. Wrestled in the tackle there. 3 brothers defenders there. They'll bring it back to the right. Bush runs himself. Looked to go wider, but eventually takes the tackle on the 20-metre line. Franklin is an acting half. He goes through to Bromley. Bromley, now they go wider here. Palmerston showing that they can spread the ball as well. The big number 30, Kolomendravusa, he got the pass away, but brothers come up with the ball. Both teams showing that they've got a willingness to go wide early as Elijah Coombs gets an offload. Player unable to advance the ball any further.
Yeah, good pick up from Nicky Yaron there to the loose ball.
Darwin brothers centre field. I think that's the 3rd tackle. They'll bring it to the grandstand side. 2 passes off the ruck. Nicky. A handful every time he gets the ball. He attracts defenders. The referee's found an error though there by Caleb Nicky. A second scrum for Palmerston in brothers territory.
Yeah, they're very untidy with the win with the ball after they won that last scrum. Let's see if they can tidy that up a bit. They just need to keep the ball in hand.
First pass off the scrum from that last, it hit the ground. You can feel there's a few nerves out there. 2 top teams, 2v3. Bush feeds the scrum. They pick it up from the lock forward position there. They'll bring it over to the wing. Great one-on-one tackle there. Tame Tupou hit Cabillo hard in a great tackle. And this is Bromley. Wrestled. Coombs and Ahmad in the tackle there. Franklin to Smith. Smith bounces off one, eventually brought down centre field. 22 out. They push it left. Hansen. About 15 metres in from touch. This is the fifth and last. They'll go the short side. Hansen puts a kick behind the Brothers defenders, and Antonio James allows the ball to go dead in goal, and Brothers will get to bring the football out to the 20-metre line. Well, they did enough there in defence, Brothers, to starve off the Palmerston Raiders, and they need to complete this set.
But a good effort there from Raiders. They went through the full set of 6 and they put some pressure on Brothers, so that's a good result for them.
Show that they're willing to push it out to that left-hand side of the field as Nicky brings the ball up over the 40-metre line. This is Armat. I like the way he plays football.
No holds barred.
Absolutely. Tobin. Brothers forwards getting through the work here. We're 9 minutes into this first half as they push it wide. The centre three-quarters wrapped up. They pull it back to the left. Kernoff puts the bomb up. The bomb's 20 metres out. Will they let it bounce? The Palmerston Raiders, the fullback attempted to take the football. It did hit the ground, but the referees ruled that it's gone back. And the Raiders, they'll come away with the football. And this is Stephen Smith. 30 metres out from his try line, centre field. They'll bring it back to the grandstand side. Gets an offload away. That's the winger, Lockie Lewis. Referee will blow a penalty. What was that for, Chris?
He's ripped the ball out there. Darren Colton.
Spot on. Referee indicates that there was a rip. Palmerston will find touch 10 metres into Brothers territory on the 40-metre line. Bradley Hansen, he'll take the tap here. .30 metres out, a good settling run there. Franklin to Taraga. Franklin again, he'll go to Bromley this time. Bromley, he'll take the ruck up. He looked to go wide, but eventually tucks the ball under the arm and he runs at centre field. He's now 15 metres out, Franklin, with options. He goes to Hansen on his left. Dummy on the inside there to Smith. Gets the ball back in, but they've had a fumble there. The vision was good, the offload was there, but the execution just wasn't there, and they come up with an error, letting Brothers off the hook.
Yeah, been good little session for Raiders. They've managed to retain some possession and put some pressure on the Brothers side. A bit unfortunate with that loss there, but certainly good signs for Raiders.
Brothers all on the open side. This is James. He's playing up in the line from the scrum feed. Over to Vitete. 2, they're wrestling him. He keeps running. He'll get to the 30-metre line. Well, that's a great run from the winger there. Doing some work for his forwards. Nicky offloads. We've had an interchange there, I think, Chris. New player on the field for Brothers. Jersey number 20.
Lockie
Natapu. He's a big boy. He looks to take his second ruck. If they don't go to him, they'll go to the open side. Through Armat. Gets the offload off to Pollard. Oh, a ball's come out. Referee's going to rule a Brothers penalty. They're going to say it's been ripped out. I think that was the call.
Yep. Hands all over the ball.
Brothers will kick from the halfway line through Yarran, the centre. He'll find touch 20 metres out. 4-0 Brothers over the Raiders. 28 minutes left in this first half. Yarran, he was missing from the side last week. He had a great game the week before. He taps the ball on the toe, and Armat will bring it up to the 20-metre line, just shy of the 20-metre line. They're just about centre field now. Next run up from Brothers. Good hard run there by jersey number 19, Jarrett Wright that was. They're centre field. They're looking to get a roll on here. They bring it back to Pollard, is it?
Yep.
Gets the pass away out to Yarran. Yarran beats 1, beats 2, beats 3. Ankle tap there and brought down centre field. He's about 5 out from the line. They bring it through Kernoff. He'll go himself! Aaron Kernoff! Well, he's a strong 5'8". He had Lachlan Natapau on his outside. Natapau's presence there just drew defenders out. Aaron Kernoff decided that he would dummy and go himself. Strong 5/8. He puts the ball down. Brothers 8, Raiders 0. Scores the try about 5 metres to the left-hand side of the upright. But Lachlan Natapau, when you've got a big forward standing outside you, when you give them the dummy, it's going to attract some defenders. And Aaron Kernoff, enough vision, enough strength to burrow himself over that try line.
Yeah, well, Raiders needed to make sure that if the big man got the ball, they were ready to stop him. Unfortunately, the most important person on the field is the one with the ball, not the one who's going to get it. And they forgot that, and Aaron Kernoff was able to just straighten and go. He's been heavily involved in all of the brothers that are taking place so far. Obviously, captain of the side, and
yes,
at 5'8", very experienced campaigner.
I don't think he's missed a game all season. Is this the first year with the C next to his name?
Yes. I might have captained at the end of last year to the Premiership.
Caleb Nicky now, Chris. About 12 metres out, just to the left-hand side of the uprights. Takes his time. Slots it through over the black dot. That's Brothers 10. Lead the Raiders 0. 25 minutes left in the first half. Sorry, Chris, you were saying Aaron Kernoff may have captained Brothers in the back end of last season.
Yeah, he was captain of their Premiership side last year. And with some other experienced campaigners in there. Pollard is a former captain as well.
Strength across the field, really, Brothers, don't they? 1 through to 17 and depth in the club. Last night, their Gatley Shield team got a win up over the ladder-leading Palmerston Raiders. That kick has touched. It's bounced before it's gone out.
Yep.
So that will be a goal line dropout there. Lachie Natapau, he was trying to make the decision. Did he go for it? Would it go dead on the full? It did bounce, it went dead, and Antonio James will have his first opportunity for a goal line dropout. He goes for the long kick, it's up over the 40-metre line. Brothers, Caelan Greenwood for the Raiders takes it on the full, and Raiders bring it back. Centre field, 30 metres out, they'll bring it to the grandstand side. Brothers showing that they're able to absorb that pressure from Palmerston Raiders earlier and get it some more points on the ball. This is Hansen. They go to the left-hand side. Cut out pass. Oh, the winger. Jersey number 17, Bruno Martins, couldn't take it. They went the cut-out ball. The chance was there. They were on the outside of the Brothers' defenders. Ball went to ground. And this is Natapau. He's bringing it back for Darwin Brothers. Straight back for Darwin Brothers now. Matt, centre field, brings it up over the 40, over the 45, brought down. Palmerston Raiders once again wanting to attack that left-hand side. Now this is Brothers' chance. And that's a great cover tackle there.
Good shot, Anderson.
Timothy Anderson, number 14 for the Palmerston Raiders, came across and he didn't miss. 39 metres out. Kernoff will run the ball. Fourth tackle that was. This is the fifth and last. Who will kick now that Kernoff was caught up in the play? Will be Antonio James. He puts the ball up high, 10 metres out. The ball goes up. It comes back to Brothers. Will he rule 6 again? No, he won't. He will rule a penalty to the Palmerston Raiders. I think he's called offside there.
Number 15, Warasam, was in front of the kicker.
Well, Aaron Kernoff caught up in the tackle. The kick went to Antonio James, and it was a good bomb. High, right there, right in the sun would have been in the defender's eyes, and they came down with it, Darwin Brothers. Had they been onside, they would have been straight back on the attack. This will be Hansen for the Raiders.
Chucky Norris, captain
Chucky
of the
Norris.
side, captain coach.
Captain coach. And he just pops up all over the field. Chucky Norris plays the ball up, plays the ball back. This is McGrath. He played hooker last night in the Gatley Shield. He's in the back row today. They bring it through Anderson. Oh, he spilt it. Great hit there, Natapau. He's made an impact since he's come onto the field for Brothers. I suspect he'll be used in short stints tonight, but he's made his presence known as Nicky gets an offload. Referee rules that the ball went backwards. It's play on for Darwin Brothers. Williams is acting half. He gives it on to Tupou. 25 metres out. Natapau again. He's got through a ton of work since he's been on the field. Very impressive by the big number 20. Williams, they'll go the right-hand side. This is Kernoff. Shapes for a man inside. Dances around himself. Raiders will bring him down 20 metres out. 2 in the tackle there from the Raiders. Williams to the left. Through his halfback. Colston. Now let's get it out to the wing. Vatete. Well, he scored in the exact same place he put the ball down before. The referee points to the spot and awards the try. That's Brothers 14, Raiders 0. 20 minutes to go in this first half with a kick to come. And Brothers showing just how dangerous they are when they push the ball wide on the left-hand side of the field. And in jersey number 20, Lachlan Natapau, he comes from the field and his presence has been felt. He's made a huge amount of runs, and if he can do that again 2 or 3 times in this game, well, he will have done exactly what his coach will have wanted him. Leon Cleal still away, I believe, for Darwin Brothers.
Yeah, Joey Carbone is still stand-in coach. They're
Aaron Kernoff having a chat to the referee. Something about the play the ball there.
Yeah, Raiders had plenty of men in defence there. Caleb Nicky was 15 metres in and threw a wide, 12-metre pass out wide and got around the defensive line, which allowed the Tate to just slide in down that touchline, ground the ball in the end goal.
Looks just as home in the centres as he does in the back row. Mobile, ball-playing back rower or big centre. His second kick from this spot, 20 centimetres in from touch, at about 25 metres out. The last one hit the crossbar, just didn't have enough wheat bix in the system to get it over. Will this one go all the way? No, off to the left-hand side of the uprights. So that's Brothers 14 lead the Raiders 0. 19 left in the first half.
There was a bit of wind around earlier today, but that's really dropped off now and noticeable. Wouldn't have assisted Caleb with that kick.
It looks very flat now, isn't it? The sponsorship flags that are out there not moving too much. Hansen will restart play for the Raiders. They go long again. Kernoff's under this one. He'll take it. He falls over. Manages to stay in the field of play. Gets the ball offloaded. And Brothers, they'll just be able to bring it back to the field of play. Was that Tobin there with the ball?
Yes.
This is Armat. Running across field. Straighten up, Armat. 8 metres out from the try line. That's 2 tackles. Very slow to his feet here. A little bit ginger there. And this is Coombs. Raiders doing a good job to hold Brothers where they are. They bring it to the grandstand side. 25 metres out from the line. They'll take it back centre field. They missed the halfback and they went to the back rower. Choosing to play it through the forwards in this set of 6. Looking to complete a set of 6 without making an error after scoring a try. James will get the kick away. That's a great kick. Antonio James kicks that ball inside the 40. It won't go anywhere near the touch line, but it was inside the 20. And a good chase from Brothers defenders. 3 players down there, Yaron, Kernoff. And that's exactly what Brothers would want after scoring a try. No mistakes, get a good kick away, and look to pin the Palmerston Raiders in their own half, deep in their own half. They bring it up to the 40 now. This is McGrath, just over the 40-metre line, centre field. I believe that's the 4th tackle. They take it to the left. Hanson's going to kick. I think that's an early kick.
Inside the 40.
It's gone out on the full there.
Right.
Antonio James gesticulates to the referee that it went out on the full, and he was spot on.
He didn't miss it by much though.
No. The idea was right, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Kick early, go for the 40-20.
And he didn't miss it by much. The earlier one we saw from him in the first set of 6 really went wide, but that one looked very close.
Hanson's come out with the game plan of trying a few 40-20s, even if he has to kick early. This is Armat, centre field, wrapped up by the Palmerston Raiders defenders. Brothers, they'll bring it to the grandstand side through Coombs. He's getting through a ton of work as well. The Brothers forwards, they're working hard. They're sharing the workload back to Armat. He passes it to Kernoff. They go wide again through James, playing up in the line from fullback. Beats the first tackle, beats the second. No, he can't get away from the second. And he's brought down by McGrath. Brothers, they'll bring it back through centre field. Through Tobin. 10 metres out. They'll bring it left. Kernoff to Coombs. Short pass. Spins in the tackle, looks for an offload. Smart decision by Elijah Coombs, decides not to offload the ball, and that's the 5th and last. They'll bring it to the short side. This is Colston. He gets the offload out the back. Vatete beats one. Will he beat another? No, he brings it back to Aaron. He'll shape to kick. Now he'll run it. Chip and chase for himself, but it's wrapped up there. That's Cubillo, brings the ball back. Oh, a one-on-one strip. No, the referees ruled that there's 2 players in the tackle there.
Yeah, there was 2 in that.
That was the front rower as well, Tobin. And he would have run away and planted the ball out on the wing.
Warrison, the 15, was involved in that as well.
Warrison. Smart thinking from the front rower though.
Yeah.
Hanson will kick for the touchline. He'll go to the far touchline, kicking from inside the 20. He'll find touch just on the halfway there. Antonio James, he's batted it back in. It hasn't found touch. Failure to find touch there, so Brothers straight back on the attack. Probably just pushed that ball a few too many metres, and Antonio James, smart thinking by the Brothers fullbacks, staying alive. And Brothers have got the ball centre field through Caleb Nicky. Brings it up over the halfway. Great run there from the centre 3/4.
Hanson, there's a bit of a swing there to try and dislodge the ball, but he missed.
Armat to Coombs. These ball-playing forwards of Brothers, they're just so dangerous. They can pin the ball underneath the arm and run, or they can get an offload. As Elijah Coombs, for his efforts, he gets the penalty. 20 metres out, Darwin Brothers with the ball. O'Connor takes the tap, gives it straight to Armat. They don't elect to kick for touch. They'll go straight on the tack and keep Palmerston Raiders under pressure. This is Tupou. 2 metres out, just to the left-hand side of the uprights. They take it to the right. Coombs again, the ball playing front rower. Gets it on to Tobin. I've got a feeling they'll go wide soon. They'll push one more to the right. Kernoff with the ball. Dances, gets an offload back to Coombs. Now they bring it to the left. This is Armat. Shapes to go left, but takes it forward. Wrapped up 5 metres out. Vatete is shaped up on the left-hand winger as Darwin Brothers, they look to burrow over. But they've had a knock on there. But there might have been some hands on the ball there as he tried to burrow his way through. Wrestle his way over the line, and well done to the Palmerston Raiders. They survived that raid by Darwin Brothers.
Yeah, I think you pointed it out too, Cam. The Taito was out here on his own. There was no one within 10 metres of him. He had a clear under the line if they could have only just got the ball to him.
They were shaping for that, but they just weren't able to get the ball out. Palmerston Raiders, loose head and the feed. Hansen will feed the ball. They break from the scrum base and they'll play it one out from the scrum base. Take a settling run. 18 metres out from the line, centre field. One off on the ruck. They'll bring it to the grandstand side. That's Blomley, the lock forward. Just shy of the 30-metre line. Short pass. It has found ground. Referee says, yes, that ball has gone forward. And that's not what the Palmerston Raiders need. 12 minutes before halftime. Brothers 14, Raiders 0. An opportunity for Brothers to continue this pressure on the Raiders in the back end of the first half.
Yeah, that's the 7th error, handling error from the Raiders side. They're just giving Brothers too much pressure.
Brothers a deep back line. James out to Yaron. Yaron out, looks to go out to Riggs, but he takes the ball himself. Brothers make a few changes here. Natapau comes back onto the field for the last 11 minutes. Have we got a number on jersey 16 for Brothers? This is Armat. Colston. Short ball out to Taupau. Williams enacting half. Natapau straight back into the affray. He's 5 metres out. Williams enacting half. They'll go to the right-hand side. Kernoff, inside ball, dummies. Out to Yaron. He's got a winger outside of him, but he won't pass the ball. He elects to take the tackle. That's the 5th and last. Umpire's got the hand in the air. And Kernoff will shape to kick. He puts it on the ground. And that's a great pick up there. Koloman Druvusa.
Great hands from the big man.
Komain Dravusa, I believe. There was a slips catch there.
Yeah.
He did well. Kernoff shaped to put the ball up high, but eventually put it down low. And the big number 30 made no mistake of taking the catch. The Raiders 20 metres out.
Very
Hansen.
Very bunched Raiders there.
Antonio James has one go at the ball. It bounces back into his hands and he'll bring it back. Some open space here. He'll elect to take them on and he brings it to the grandstand. This is what we want to see. Antonio James with a clean set of heels. Beats the first tackle. Eventually is wrapped up, but he's brought the ball from the 20-metre line almost up to the 40. And that's the 40-metre line inside Palmerston. Yeah, the opposition's 40. And Caleb Nicky, he'll get the penalty. How good is it to see Antonio James with some room to run at fullback?
And they're certainly putting pressure on Raiders.
You could see it in his eyes. Instead of actually taking the opposition on and bringing it back, he decided to run around them. A turn of pace. He had their measure. He beat the first tackle and then brought down. And then Nicky with another great run gets the penalty. And now Brothers 22 metres out. In fact, 20 metres out. Caleb Nicky told to play the ball or tap the ball on the 20-metre line. Referee still not happy. Sends it back to Nicky. Back to the 20-metre line. 10 in from touch. Nicky to Colston. This is Tupou. 8 minutes on the clock. Still plenty of time in this first half. Williams. He's found an error in there. Was that in the play the ball? Possibly not a clean pick up from the acting half. Natapau certainly took the ball cleanly.
Yes. Bit of a bobble at the play the ball.
A little bit of a bobble. Scrum to pack down. 8.5 left in this first half. Brothers lead 14-0. Bush will feed the scrum. Referee not happy. Told them to wait. Bush fed the scrum. It will come back. Palmerston Raiders often break from the base of the scrum. The lock forward will pick the ball up and passes it to the first receiver, but the ball has gone to ground. Lockie Lewis eventually comes up with it, and Darwin brothers are there in 2s and 3s and able to force Lewis back 5 metres out from their line. That's not what the Raiders will have wanted from that scrum base.
No, second time they've been very untidy after they've won a scrum. More pressure when it's in their own 20.
20 metres out now from their own line, the Raiders. They run it sideways. He's beat 2, he's beat 3, he's beat 4. And eventually he's bundled over there about 35 metres out from the line. That's the centre three-quarter, Gregorio Cabillo. It was a great run. He probably ran sideways more than he did forward, but he beat plenty of tacklers. And now Smith on the 40-metre line. Tyson in jersey number 30. Kamain Dravusa plays the ball back. Hanson, he's outside the 40. He puts a centre field torpedo bomb. Looks to put Antonio James under some pressure, but the bounce will favour Antonio James. It hits the ground and it runs dead. And Brothers get to bring the ball out to the 20-metre line. Chris, can you clarify a rule for me here? In NRL NT, do we have a 7-tackle set?
Yes.
And it will be a 7-tackle set for Darwin Brothers because the ball's gone dead from the kick. Centre field, that's 0 tackle there, the referee rules. Vatete, he's about 20 in, coming in to relieve his forwards from some work. Nicky, the centre three-quarter, he's doing some work now, centre field. The Tarpals lining up for this next ruck if they bring it to the grandstand side. They don't. They go through Ahmad, Cairo Ahmad. He's been so impressive. Tackled just shy of the halfway. Kernoff. Midfield bomb. 30 metres out. Vatete takes it on the full. He's got a player inside. Oh, it's a great take from Vatete. He gets it to the player in jersey number 15, and he's able to run over and plant the ball down. Who was the try scorer, Chris? Warrison. Frith Warrison in jersey number 15. Well, Aaron Kernoff, a centre field bomb. It didn't look like much was doing, but Vatete got himself into a great position to take the ball. And Darwin Brothers, they came through in support, and it was Warrison back on the inside. He didn't have any players in front of him, and he was able to run the ball underneath and plant the ball about 5 metres to the left-hand side of the upright. And just before half-time, Darwin Brothers are able to extend their lead, 18 points to nil, with a kick to come.
Yeah, it looked a fairly innocuous kick from about the 40-metre line. But the chases are what makes a kick, any kick.
Absolutely.
And Brothers following through and putting pressure on, that's what caused the mistake. And Vatete took the ball well over the winger, and then he had plenty of support. And
he's been great on this left wing, Vatete.
Having a great game.
Change of kicker here. Caleb Nicky, he's given up the duties for Coulston. Dallas Coulston, the halfback, jersey number 7 for Darwin Brothers. Is Nicky still out on the field? He is on the field. It's not that he's on the bench.
Might have a sore hamstring from kicking him right out here on the sideline, on the touch.
Coulston about 5 metres to the left-hand side of the uprights, about 18 metres out, moves in, strikes the ball well, and that's successful. 20 points to nil. Darwin Brothers over the Palmerston Raiders. 4 minutes left on the clock as we put the goal next to Dallas Coulston's name. Palmerston, they're slow to bring it back to the halfway, Chris.
They would have been a little bit disappointed in that, with only 3 tries scored by Brothers up until, after 35 minutes. They would have been fairly happy with their defensive efforts up until that point. But what they need to do now is make sure that they hold them out for the remaining 3 and a bit minutes. The
battle of the kicking games, we saw Hanson, he put a torpedo bomb up above Antonio James. James electing to let it bounce, and it ran dead. And then Aaron Kernoff said, well, if you're going to attack my fullback, I'm going to attack your winger. And that's how Brothers came up with that try. Brothers now with the ball 10 metres out from their own try line. They'll bring it back. Looking for a settler set of 6. 3 minutes left on the clock. 1 out rucks here from Darwin Brothers. They don't want to make any mistakes. This is O'Connor. Juggle of the ball there, but he was able to regain before he came to the defenders. Great run there, Natapau. Brings it up over the 40-metre line. That's the 5th and last. Kernoff from behind the line, shapes, kicks long. He'll get it over behind the Palmerston Raiders fullback's head. Greenwood, he'll have to bring it back. That's a great kick from Antonio James and a great chase. 3-4 defenders there for Darwin Brothers, and Caleb Nicky's able to take Greenwood in the tackle, and then Kernoff follows up his great kick with the next tackle, and that's 2 tackles gone, and they're only 5 metres out. 3 gone, they're just past the 10-metre line now. Darwin Brothers really applying the pressure to the Raiders in the back end of this first half. Great kick there from Aaron Kernoff.
Yeah, it shows what a good kicking game to do, to put pressure on your opponents.
Pinpoint accuracy. The bounce, it wasn't going to go dead. Hey, here we go. 6 ago, 6 again. The Raiders, they had an opportunity to try and get on the outside of Brothers, but they brought it back infield through Bruno Martins. The referee did start the set. The count again. 30 metres out from their own line. Franklin with the ball, just shy of halfway. They've still got a few tackles up their sleeve because the set of 6 was restarted. Straight and hard.
Norris.
We've got a player down for Brothers. Looks to be holding his head. As Raiders continue. Oh, that's a good run there. Was that Smith? It was Smith. A penalty was awarded. 1 minute left on the clock. Stephen Smith with a charging run. I believe he caught the Brothers defenders offside.
High tackle.
High tackle, was it?
Yep.
And a great opportunity for the Raiders in the shadow of the halftime siren to get some points on the board. Smith. One good run followed by another good run. He's about 1 metre out. Franklin, he's at acting half. They go the left. They find Hansen. He gives a short ball, but it's found the ground, but the referee's found a penalty in there. What was that one for, Chris?
He's taking him without the ball.
Brothers
Taking
defenders a little bit eager. Hands on the
receiver. Yeah,
hands on the receiver before he got the ball. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. What would you do? You take the 2 here. They take the tap as the siren sounds in the background. It might pay off for them. Oh no!
Why not?
They push it to the winger. Brothers come up on the ball. As the referee blows half time, I thought they'd take the kick there and try and get 2 points, even though they're a long way behind. But they elected to go the enterprising play. One play, they got the ball out. It wasn't able to find the winger. Brothers came up with the ball and defused, and that's half time. 20 points to 0. Half time, Darwin Brothers. This is 2v3. Raiders are in second position. Brothers are in third position, but all 3 teams, the Bears, Brothers and Raiders, all on 10 points with 5 wins and 1 loss. Well, coming up later, we've got the Nightcliff Dragons up against the Northern Sharks 4v5. We've also got Litchfield Bears up against the South Darwin Rabbitohs. That's 1v6. As the Palmerston Raiders leave the field, Darwin Brothers elect to take their half-time out on the field. The Raiders will head to the sheds. It's been a great performance by Darwin Brothers. Any pressure that Palmerston Raiders have been able to apply, Darwin Brothers have been able to absorb it. And then they've been able to apply their own pressure and convert that pressure into points. While the Raiders, they had some chances early, but they haven't been able to come up with any points. A fairly clinical performance from the Darwin Brothers in the first half.
It certainly has been, Cam.
convert opportunities into points where the Raiders haven't been able to do that.
They need to play the ball in Brothers half. I mean, that's the crux of it.
It's been played down this end of the field, the Raiders' end, defending end of the field, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You'd have to say 70-30.
They've certainly had the better of the field position, Brothers, and that's what would turn it around. Penalties are pretty even, 5-3, handovers and scrums, five mistakes by Brothers and 8 by Raiders, so they're not too far apart in those stats, but it's where the ball has been played.
When the Raiders have pushed the ball out to the left and tried to spread it, they have looked dangerous. The executions let them down a few times, but they have found some space out on the left-hand edge there. So potentially they look to exploit that in the second half. I thought Stephen Smith's been good up front. He's made some great runs.
Oh, and the big fella's made a bit of an impact too, Kamena Dravasa.
And he took that great slips catch as well.
Yeah.
Look, this is just a sign of confidence, isn't it, from Darwin Brothers? They took their halftime on the field. They own TRL Stadium. They're out, assembled, in configuration, ready for the second half. As the Raiders come back out onto the field. I'm sure Chuck Norris will have fired his boys up at halftime there. 20 points to nil, halftime score. 40 minutes on the clock.
Here we go.
Hansen will restart. We'll wait for the referee's whistle for Hansen to restart play. And we're back on 20 points to nil at half time. Hansen kicks us off for the second half. Antonio James under the high ball, and he gets it onto Elijah Coombs, who brings the ball back, beats the first, beats the second. Elijah Coombs. Oh, it's a great kick return from the front rower in jersey number 8 for Darwin Brothers, 35 metres out from the line. And then his front row partner, Andrew Tobin, brings the ball up. And within 2 tackles, Brothers are already back to the 45-metre liners. Ahmat brings it over the halfway. 3 tackles, and they're into Raiders territory. Williams at acting half. They go the short side. Warrison with the ball. 40 metres out. This has been a great first hit for Darwin Brothers so far. Ahmat lines up for another run. Just one play off the ruck there. Fifth and last. They've made it to the opposition's 20-metre line. Kernoth with the ball. Puts it in behind the line. The Raiders have come up with it, but Raiders, they've got the ball 12 metres out, but Darwin Brothers will be very happy with that opening set of the second half. As they bring it back, Caleb Nicky makes the tackle. Raiders with the ball. This is Norris. 25 metres out from the line. They'll bring it back centre field. Raiders look to work the ball up to the halfway. They're 35 metres out. They look for Hansen. He'll kick inside the 40. James is back. He'll take it on the full. Perfect positioning by the Brothers fullback Antonio James. He'll bring the ball back. He's met by a few defenders. He's able to break through the first one. He really applied the pressure just before the line. He's brought down on his 40-metre line, and Yaron now, he follows it up. Runs right, runs left, eventually brought down, crawls, steals a few extra metres. Now Nicky brings it up over the halfway. Jinking run, runs back to the right there. As they approach the Raiders' 40-metre line, Ahmat holds the ball in 2 hands before tucking it under the arm and taking the tackle. Brothers applying the pressure early here. Kernoth. They're getting a roll on Brothers. They go through Colston. Floats the ball over to Vatete. He beats 1, he beats 2. And he's going to start the second half just as he did in the first half. Brothers, they got a roll on through the centre field. They spread it left through Aaron Kernoff. They float the ball over the top with a cutout ball. They found Vitate, and he scores in the left-hand corner. He picked up 2 in the first half in the left-hand corner, and he's opened the second half with another try. That's 3 for Vitate for tonight. And Darwin Brothers, everything they've done in the second half has been quality so far. From their positional play, from running the ball, quick play the balls, getting a roll on.
And it's the same sort of start to the half as they had in the first half. Only a couple of minutes in the first, early set of possession, and they've scored again out on the left-hand side.
It was just such enjoyable football to watch. Their kick returns, their charging runs, quick play the balls, and then once they got that roll on, who came through was Aaron Kernoff. Called for the ball on the left-hand side of the ruck. He had his back line set. He knew what he was going to do. He threw the cutout pass. Vitate got on the outside of the Palmerston Raiders winger, and then he crashed through the final defender. And this is Colston, the halfback. He'll be taking the kick from the far side. He's probably about 20 centimetres in, 22 metres out. This is his first kick from the sideline. Steadies. Comes in to strike the ball.
There goes the kick.
Strikes it well. The flags go up. Another 2 points. Well, you've got to be happy with that kick from Dallas Colston. Right from the sideline of the Vitate try. He adds the extras, and it's Darwin Brothers 26, the Palmerston Raiders 0. 35 minutes left in the game, 5 minutes into the second half. The Raiders, they're walking back slow to the halfway. Well, that's not the start that they would have wanted.
No, I think they'd be very disappointed with that. Again, as we mentioned at the end of the first half, they really need to show something here, show some defensive backbone and hold Brothers down.
And here goes Coombs again. Once again with the kick return, able to beat the first, beat the second. It was a great take by Aaron Kernoff, offloaded to his front rower, and followed up immediately by his front row partner in Andrew Tobin. And now Ahmad again. This is the same style that we saw before. It looked like there was an error. The referee, he's blown a penalty. The touch judge has come in off the side. Flag in the air. The players came together, but they broke up pretty quickly there. Just when I thought that Brothers had put the ball down, they got the penalty.
Yeah, it looked like it had just popped out from Karo Ahmed's hands.
Touch judge going to give a report to the centre field referee. In fact, both touchies.
So this should be a penalty to Raiders.
Referee might overturn this decision.
For foul play, yeah, because you shouldn't come in when a side's in attack unless they're the ones who've caused the issue. So normally, if it was a defensive player that had caused the issue, you would play the advantage and see what happens, and then have the penalty then.
Tobin's come from the field. That's very early in the second half. Jersey number 10, Andrew Tobin. He's taken some great runs early in the second half, following up Elijah Coombs.
One of the great things about unlimited interchange.
No, or is he coming back onto the field?
He's asked him.
Just might have needed to get the rag, maybe to clean up some blood or something. Bringing something out onto the field. Aaron Kernoth asking the question out there. Okay. Tobin's been sent off. Maybe that's why he came to the sideline. He thought he'd take an interchange and get himself out of the way, outside of the referee's eyes, but he's been called back.
That's why you have numbers on your back.
He got called back onto the field only to be sent off. So we've had a send-off here in round 7 in this clash between Darwin Brothers and Palmerston Raiders. Now we can see clearly why he came to the side of the field. He wasn't trying to hide himself away. He's got plenty of claret coming out of his head. But he has been sent off. Andrew Tobin. Will we see a second player being sent off?
The referee's explaining to the Raiders captain.
We have a second player sent off. So it's going to be 12 on 12 here. We'll get a chance to see the number as he comes off.
Cabillo.
Centre 3/4, Gregario Cabillo. We'll get a confirmation on the number as he comes to the sideline. It will be 12 on 12. Which way will he give the penalty here?
Well, I think he's going to go with the original. Well, no, because the original penalty you blew was up here, closer to the halfway line. So.
And that is Cabillo jersey number 3 sent off. So 12 on 12. The original penalty stands. We'll have to watch the replay and just see what the touch judge saw there. Brothers 5 metres into Raiders territory. Nicky taps the ball. They go 2 passes wide of the ruck and take the tackle. That's a terrible play the ball and pass there. They come up with the error. There's plenty of talk going on there. Referees ruled the knock on. And just as we had a fantastic opening to the second half, we've seemed to stall play for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's got a little untidy in the last 5 minutes.
Scrum to pack, Raiders feed. Scrum about 37 metres out from the Raiders try line. Once again they break from the scrum base to pick the ball up. They bring it out to the winger, but he brings it back in. The Raiders, look how compressed they are in attack there. They try and spread out now, but they were very compressed there.
And the winger got that pass only because it was overthrown. It went well past the man who was expecting it.
Is it Sargigi in jersey number 16?
It'll do.
Plays it back to Franklin. They go the open side. That's a good run. This is better stuff from the Raiders now. They were a little bit scrappy at the start of this set of 6. They're playing it better towards the back end as they move it out through their 5/8 in Anthony Bush. They actually make it into Brothers territory, but it is the 5th and last. They'll take the kick. 5 metres into Brothers territory is Hansen. It's a centre field bomb. Antonio James attempts to take it on the field full, but he's unable to control it, and it lands in the arms of Jevdenovic.
And that was all, again, caused by the chasers. The pressure from the chasers made it into a great kick. Got Raiders in a good attacking position.
And Hansen, with the ball, slips the pass. Will they get over the line here? Jersey number 11, Kobe McGrath. Well, they've made some luck. They've made some opportunities there. The Palmerston Raiders putting a high midfield bomb. Antonio James attempted to take it on the full, which is the right thing to do. He was unable to take it. It came down through the centre 3/4 and Jevdenovic. And a few plays later, we see Hansen with the ball. He was a handful. He brought it to the left-hand side of the field. He got the offload off. And we see the try coming up to jersey number 11, Kobe McGrath, who is one of those players who's backing up from last night. Last night he was wearing jersey number 9. He was playing in the hooking, acting half position. Today in the back row. Well, it's good to see the Raiders get on the board, Chris.
Oh, it certainly is. It'll give them a bit of a boost as well. But again, as we mentioned in the first half, you know, your kick is as good as your chase. It was a It was a pretty good kick from Hansen, but it was the chase that made it. In the end, the Raiders had 3 people down there, and when you've got people in the corner of your eye, obviously you're not focusing completely on the ball, and that's what happened with Antonio.
Hansen in jersey number 7 comes in to take this kick. He'll spray it to the right-hand side of the uprights. It will remain 26 points to 4. Brothers over the Raiders, 30 points left on the clock, and you're right, Chris. The chase, it's an attitude thing, isn't it? The ball went up, and it was great to see that the Raiders had the right attitude there and had plenty of players running through. And you can see what happens when you've got the football in their hands in the right part of the field.
In the opposition's half.
You come up with points.
Everything's what we were talking about.
This is only the second time Antonio James has had to kick off. The first one was to start the game. And now from the Raiders' first try of the match, they'll come back. They'll get driven back there. 15 metres out from their line. That was Franklin, the hooker. Is that Chuck Norris there with the ball?
Yep.
He'll play the ball 22 metres out. They'll bring it centre field, back through Franklin. Gee, the big fella, he's been a handful, hasn't he? Commander Avusa, he looked to offload. Smart play. There wasn't a player in a better position to him. And he decided to take the tackle as the Raiders bring it up over the 40-metre line. This has been a positive set from them. Hansen, the short side. One player in from the touchline. 5th and last. They'll take the kick inside Brothers territory. Hansen, he goes the short kick. It will be taken by the Brothers winger in Hayden Riggs. And there's a knock on there from Darwin Brothers. Aaron Kernoth was coming through on Hansen, the halfback. A nice little dummy to the right. He stepped to the left. He got a short kick away. And yet again, Tracer's coming through. And they forced the error. So for the second time within about 3 minutes, the Palmerston Raiders will have the ball with a fresh set of 6 inside the Darwin Brothers territory. Hansen feeds a scrum, picks it up, and they go out to Norris. One pass off the ruck boat. It was a fairly wide pass. Nicky makes the tackle. There's a penalty there. There's an was it a holding down or a holding down in the play? The ball. Chuck Norris looked to.
Bit of forearm as well.
Bit of forearm as well. Blomley with the ball. Back to Norris to the right hand side. He straightens his run up. He eyes off Caleb Nicky. And he's brought down 10 metres out.
Yeah, strong defence from Nicky and Williams.
They kick early, Hansen. It's come back to Hansen. He'll go himself, will he? Well, I thought he kicked early and he had spoiled it there, but the ball bounced back into his arms. He's come up with the ball and the Raiders are still on the attack. This is McGrath, the try scorer. He'll play the ball back. Sagigi, they go the short side through the front rower. He gets the offload. They don't have a lot of room to move there, the Palmerston Raiders. It's the 5th and last. Dravusa's in there at acting half. Tries to bury over.
He's over, but I think he might be held up.
There's probably 3 or 4 players underneath him. Look, not a bad idea there from jersey number 30, Tyson Comain Dravusa. Tried to burrow through, couldn't do that, tried to roll over the defenders, but eventually was held up by 2 or 3 Brothers defenders as he comes from the field. And Nicky for Darwin Brothers will bring the ball back on the attack for Brothers as they look to work their way out from this unfamiliar territory here. Williams, centre field, Nicky at acting half. He goes back to Natupau. That's a slow play, the ball. Referee says get up and play the ball. They bring it to the right with Colston. He runs the ball. He's met by 2 Palmerston defenders. 30 metres out, they'll play the ball. They're having to work hard here, the Darwin Brothers, to bring it out from their own try line. Good set into the defence from the Palmerston Raiders. Kurnoff, they look to spread the ball wide. It has hit the ground. It has gone back. I think they've made a meal of it there now.
Second one will be a knock-on.
Vatate is ruled the knock-on. Aaron Kurnoff deciding to throw the ball wide and run the ball on the last tackle. But they made a meal of it there, the Darwin brothers out on the left-hand side. Referee rules a changeover. As it was the last, it will be the Palmerston Raiders play the ball. Blomley will play the ball. About 32 metres out from the brothers' line, 26 points to 4, 25 left on the clock. They haven't given up here, the Raiders. Their second half has been more settled, more creative, more disciplined, and less drop ball than their first half. Swinging arm there in the tackle, I believe, there. Jersey number 14.
And touches in again.
Kenneth O'Connor just showing a little bit too much aggression there.
You can see the difference that possession makes, Cam. The last 10 minutes.
It's all Raiders.
And down here, down in good ball position, yeah?
Absolutely, and then suddenly Darwin brothers are on the back pedal and under some pressure as the Raiders 1 metre out from the line, 10 metres from the left-hand side of the field.
Yes.
The hooker, well, he just palms off the player. Jay Franklin. First pass off the ruck, he stood in the tackle, he put his left arm out, he was able to palm off the Darwin brothers defender, and Jay Franklin suddenly had the line in front of him, and all he needed to do was dive over it, and he did that. And Palmerston Raiders now on the board for the second time tonight, this time through the number 9, Jay Franklin. And as Chris said, field position and possession applying the pressure to Darwin brothers, and suddenly the Palmerston Raiders have come up with 2 tries.
And this is you can see behind the goal line now. Aaron Kurnoff talking to his team, trying to settle them down, trying to get some sense of order back into where they were early in this second half and during the first half. Obviously they're a man down, but so are Raiders.
Yes, 12 on 12.
So there's not a disparity in that regard, but it does certainly offset your pattern a little bit if you're missing a play. Luckily it's a middle, so it's not as bad as if you're missing a winger or a fullback, but it still does mean that people have got more work to do.
Hansen unsuccessful with his second kick of the night. It remains 26 points to 8, 22 and a half minutes left on the clock. Andrew Tobin sent from the field for Darwin brothers, the front rower, whilst Gregorio Cabillo, the centre 3/4 for Raiders, he was also sent from the field. I suppose 12 on 12, it does create a little bit of extra space between defenders.
And you'll see in the last 10 minutes or so, 12 minutes, Brad Hansen's been getting his hands on the ball a lot more.
He certainly has.
And he's been able to guide Raiders around.
Well, James makes a mistake from the kickoff. It was a long kick, but it's come out over the full on that right-hand side touchline. And the referee blows a penalty on the halfway to the Palmerston Raiders. And Chris, dare I say it again for the third time, in about the space of 7 minutes, the Palmerston Raiders will be on the attack deep in Brothers territory.
Yeah, they just need to settle down. They just need to play to the patterns that they've been working on at training.
Hansen, referee unhappy with that, tells Bradley Hansen to go back and take the tap again.
Well, the winger was standing in front, but the brothers players came off the line pretty quick then too. So
who'll take the settler here? It'll be Anderson who takes the settler. 3 brothers players, 1 falls off. Colston and Kurnoff, the halves partners, make the effective tackle. Oh, that ball's just come free there. And Darwin brothers come up with the ball. The Raiders in their second tackle unable to hold on to the ball for the set of 6. And this is Yarran, centre field. Brothers, they go left through Nicky. Nicky decides to run with the ball. He gets the ball away. This is Colston dancing. He finds the ball back to Nicky. He gets the ball out to the winger Vatete, but the referees rule that it's gone forward. Well, they look dangerous yet again down that left-hand side, Darwin Brothers. It was great to see Colston, Nicky, Yarran, Vatete finding some space and combining down the left-hand side of the field. Cover defence got there, but the ball was ruled to have gone forward. And they were in real trouble there if the ball went back. Scrum feed. There'll be Raiders loose head and the field. Brothers with no fullback at home. Antonio James defending up in the line. Hansen will feed the scrum. He'll pick it up as well. They bring it to Norris. Norris looks to make some space by running in a diagonal direction towards the grandstand, and he's brought down 28 metres out from his own line. Oh! Breaks through the first tackle. They're up over the 40. They approach the halfway. The Raiders, they'll get over the halfway with this run, and that's a great run there. He's still going. The lock forward in Blomley.
Certainly got their tails up at the moment.
They go to the right-hand side of the field. This is Bush. 5th and last now. Where's Hansen? He's back on the left-hand side of the field. They'll find him. He'll put the ball on the toe just behind the line. But Darwin Brothers through Kenneth O'Connor. He takes the ball on the full. Hansen was just trying to drop that ball in behind the Brothers defenders and in front of the fullback. But O'Connor, he read it well. He took it on the full. And Darwin Brothers through Riggs will bring it ball back. Centre field, 15 metres out from the line. Slow play the ball there. Nicky at acting half. Will he go left? Will he go right? He elects to go right. He beats the marker. He beats the first defender. And he'll get brought down just before the 30-metre line. Got a few players out on the field starting to cramp now. We've seen a Palmerston Raiders player down before. Now a Darwin Brothers player down as Natapau plays the ball back shy of the 40. Kernoff inside the 40. He kicks the ball. He gets it over the head of the fullback Greenwood. Bounces a few times. He comes up with the ball. There's 3 defenders coming through. Gets past the first. The second. There was a high tackle there. Just went a little bit too high. Was one of the Brothers defenders on the fullback Caleb Greenwood. The referee was in great position. You just can't do that.
Aaron Kernoff trying to knock the ball out.
Playing for the ball. He ended up getting above the shoulder.
The melon, not the ball.
As Hansen will kick for the sideline. Finds touch. About 5 rows deep into the grandstand. 40 metres out from his own line. A little bit of feeling creeping into this game as well. 2 versus 3. The Raiders through Anderson, shy of the halfway, plays the ball back. This is McGrath. He's scored 1 tonight already. He's up over the halfway. He's brought down by Armat. The acting half, he scurries himself. He looked to go right. He went left. And they combined to bring it up over the 40-metre line. They're into Brothers territory. Through the right, through Blomley. Up over the 30.
He's been working hard.
He has. Hansen. This is Bush. Norris.
No.
They combine. Oh, Chucky Norris nearly got through there.
Nice little pass.
The acting half goes himself, throws the dummy. And that was the 5th and the last. Antonio James was also there, standing in defence if needed.
A good little dart from Greenwood. Good thinking.
Great to see they're still chancing their arm, Palmerston Raiders. 16 left on the clock, 26 points to 8. Brothers over the Raiders. Brothers through Armat will play the ball. They're still inside their own 10. Yarran met in a heavy tackle, but he was able to bounce off the first. He's taken in the second tackle, gets it across the 10-metre line. This is Coombs. shrugs off one, gets an offload away. The ball does go to ground. He offloads, it's gone backwards. Wasn't necessarily to a player in a better position.
Certainly working hard in defence here, Raiders.
That's 4 now.
Yeah, great defensive set.
Brothers still inside their own 20. James, he'll be caught. That will be the 5th and last. Where's Kernoth? He'll come to the left-hand side of the ruck.
Wingers are back.
No. They go to Yaron. They're going to throw the ball. Oh.
Forward pass.
He's ruled a forward pass there. No.
Yep.
He is called a forward pass. And for the second time, Brothers, on the 5th and last, instead of kicking the ball, they looked to run the ball. Aaron Kernoff came around the left-hand side of the ruck, Caleb Nicky at the acting half, and you could see the play that was on because it didn't go to Kernoff, it went to Nicholas Yaron. Raiders back on the attack, inside Brothers territory, over the 30-metre line. Plays the ball back. That's Bromley again. Blomley, he's been strong. He's been great in the second half. He gets the offload. He'll work it towards 12 metres out centre field. Sagigi, Hansen, dummy. He loses the ball. Brothers come up with Coombs. He had a player on his left-hand side. He double pumped it and went himself, and he did a good job. He brought it up to the 30-metre line. Elijah Coombs, ball playing front rower, just showing he knows when to hold the ball, he knows when to run.
This is where Raiders really need to work hard, keep the ball in this half.
Nicky from acting half. Yaron up over the halfway. Brothers, they've got options both sides. They go to Armat, one off the ruck. He arrows it back in at the markers. And there's a penalty there. What was that for, Chris?
Right.
Referee rules a high tackle. It was late in the tackle count as well.
Would have been the last. And here Aaron Kernoth saying, let's be patient.
They're going to take the tap here, Darwin Brothers. They're not going to kick for touch.
Yeah.
Oh.
18 points in front. They
Tupo
don't need to do too much. They just need to keep the ball in hand.
Now back to Armat. On to Kernoff. Short ball. Warasumo. He's going to crash over for his second. Sorry, that was...
Warasam.
That's his second try of the night. Nice little set play there from Darwin Brothers. Roll it through a few times. Work it to Kernoff. Kernoff, a short ball onto jersey number 15, Frith Warasam. A nice little gap opened up for him. He beat the final defender. Crashes over for his second try of the night.
And it's unfortunate for Raiders. They put so much effort into those last few sets of keeping Brothers down in their own half. They just looked like they just sort of reached the edge of their pressure level. Brothers got through, got into their attacking half, and then Raiders were on the back foot, and Brothers were just able to take advantage of it. Run hard, run straight.
A 5th and last penalty didn't help things after expending some energy in defence. Giving away the penalty, we saw that Darwin Brothers elected to take the tap through Connor Williams. They worked for a set play, and I think I called the name wrong. Frith Warasam picks up his second try for the night off a short Aaron Kernoff pass to the right-hand side of the field. And Colston will line up and look to add the extras. After that passage of play where Raiders were able to score a few tries and hold the football and have some field position, Brothers just strike back there.
Yeah, they'd really dug in and had to weather a lot of pressure, Brothers. But again, as soon as that pressure valve was released, they just took off and They were twice, obviously, in this second half were unfortunate with overlaps where they've thrown the ball forward, where they possibly could have been away. But to their credit, Raiders have been working really hard, kept the pressure on, and forced them to throw the forward pass.
They have. Colston added the extras there. That's his third goal, I should say, of the night. Brothers now 32, Palmerston Raiders 8, 10 and a half on the clock. They kick deep. It's going to be 2 deep and 2 to the left. The Palmerston Raiders have kicked it out on the full, looking to put Brothers under pressure from that kick.
I think the referee was also having a word to the 17 because he was in front of him at the kickoff.
He was. There was a player in front of the kickoff. Well spotted there, Chris. Brothers will get a penalty on the halfway. Will Antonio kick
Results the same.
He'll look to kick from halfway. He's got a big boot on him. He kicks long. It's a huge kick, Antonio James. They're up by a long margin, so he pushed that kick as far as he could, and he makes touch. 10 metres out from the Palmerston Raiders now. A full set of 6 on the Raiders line, and this is Yaron. Referee unhappy with something there, tells Nicholas Yaron to go back and take the tap again. But a full set of 6 for the Darwin brothers on the Palmerston Raiders line. Still not happy, the referee. Now he says go. Yaron. Warasam. Looking for his third. Has he got there? I think he has. He had 2. We had 3 on him. And Frith Warasam, just pure strength and determination, forces his way over for his 3rd try of the night. Antonio James, what a kick from the halfway centre field to get the ball 10 metres out from the Palmerston Raiders line. They had 3 goes of the tap. Raiders had plenty of time to get their defensive line set, but the strength and determination by Frith Warasam to force his way over for his 3rd try of the night.
Again, lots of attacking threats, the brothers' side. Vataitai's 3 tries, Warasam 3 tries. They're the major beneficiaries in that department tonight, but with Kernoth, with Yaron, you've got the Coombs and Ahmad have been running really strongly, and haven't even mentioned Nicky and James.
No, we haven't.
So there's threats all over the park.
Colston lining up, looking to get his 4th conversion for the night. No, sprays this one to the right-hand side there.
And for the Raiders side, who've been gallant, and they really, especially from the 5th minute of the second half through to probably, for 20 minutes, they were arguably the better side.
In the second half, they certainly were. 7.5 left on the clock. Axel Deathmore, he's looking to get the team sheet for the next game, which is going to be the Dragons up against the Sharks. As we look to take the kick-off, Hansen yet again. He won't go too far to the sideline. Kicks the same direction, but it does bounce. Kernoth comes up with the ball. He brings it back, beats the first tackle, ducks under the second, offloads to his winger in Riggs, brings it back centre field, and the first tackle is affected 5 metres short of touch centre field after Aaron Kernoth brought the ball back. Nicky on the short side, beats the first, puts it on the toe. Oh, brothers, they're going to do some entertaining play here. It's a great kick. Raiders come up with the ball, but they are forced to run it dead. Leading 36 points to 8. Caleb Nicky on the second tackle. Why not put the ball on the toe and turn the Raiders defenders around?
Well, he did look to pass, but it's a good thing he hung on, or else the referee would have pulled up a 3rd forward pass. The outside player was running up in front of him, so good thing that he did, and a deft kick, but well defended by Raiders.
Goal line dropout Hansen again.
In the last 8 minutes or so, the tide's really turned and Raiders have been on the back foot. Brothers are really trying to turn the screws now.
Drop kick goes 35 metres. James takes it on the fly. Gets an offload to the try scorer, the triple try scorer.
Machine.
Warrisam. Yaron. I'd love to see the big number 20, Lachlan at 2, pal, pick himself up a try. He's worked hard all night. Been used most effectively by Joseph Carbone, bringing the Tarpow off the bench in short spurts. And this is Ahmad. Has Ahmad had a break all night? Has he played the full 80, Chris?
No, he's had a couple of breaks.
He's had a couple of breaks. He
just feels like he's been out there all the time. He's always in the play when he is on the field.
Yaron at acting half. Markers very quick. It's on the line. This is the 5th and last. James on the toe. Out to his winger. It will bounce. Raiders will come up with the ball. Raiders will get
offside.
The penalty. Antonio James, he kicked from behind his defenders. Immediately the players were all offside. The kick didn't go far enough and the players couldn't retreat far enough. So just by standing inside the 10 and looking to effect the tackle, Brothers have given away the penalty. So Raiders, they'll get the penalty. They'll take the tap. 25 metres out from their own line. 4.5 left on the clock. Smith working hard, hasn't given up. He's tried hard all night. The Raiders front rower. Now this is Taruga. Raiders, they push to the right. Just one play off the ruck. Blomley, he's been just about the Raiders' best tonight. Always been a handful when he's ran the ball. They go the short side and Smith. Second ruck in this set of 6 for the front rower, Stephen Smith. And he earns the penalty. Smith looking to go for the quick tap. He has gone the quick tap. Brothers aren't back the 10. He might get another penalty there. Referee rules that Kernoth was back on sides. Quick thinking by the Raiders front rower, Stephen Smith. 2 rucks and a quick tap in that set of 6. The front rower working hard through to the final siren. And this is Bush. Stands in the tackle.
Unfortunately, couldn't get that ball away to his right. Norris was through a gap there.
Bring it back to the left. Oh!
Knocked down by O'Connor.
O'Connor was going for the intercept there. You could hear the sound of the force that he hit the football. Referee will pack the scrum whether he's going for the intercept or whether he's just trying to stop the ball from going wider. Quite happy, Darwin Brothers, to pack the scrum. The Raiders did look dangerous there when they pushed it wide. Hansen out to Bush with Chuck Norris on the outside. They'll come the short side. O'Connor affects the tackle 5 metres out. Hansen at acting half. Smith the short side. Kernoth. Raiders will get a penalty here. Well, Stephen Smith hasn't given up. I don't think the Raiders have given up. They've continued to ask the question. It's just been about field position, ball security, and I think he's crashed over there.
The big fella.
Did you get a number there, Chris?
It's Kamandra Lusa.
Now it's 36-12 with less than 2 minutes left in this second half of round 7.
Tyson Kamandra. He's got himself a try. One pass wide. It was a wide pass of the ruck. And Kamandra, big enough body to crash his way over.
Well, he's worked hard too, and he was over the line earlier out here on the wing, but held up. But they weren't going to stop him then.
It's an effective play, isn't it? You work the play close to the try line. You do one pass very flat to a big front rower. He looks to isolate a player one-on-one or hit the gap, and Dravusa, too big, too strong, crashes over.
Yeah, hard to contain when anybody's that close to the line. but when you've got a significant size advantage as well, it does make it difficult.
It'd be no good if I ran a crash play. But Kamane Dravusa...
They might call that a javelin play. Okay. Bushy attempting the conversion here.
Backing up from last night, Anthony Bush.
He's a freak, he just loves it.
Hits the post, but it goes through. 30 seconds on the clock. Anthony Bush successful with the conversion. It hit the uprights, but bounced through. It's 36 points to 14 by the time brothers assemble and take this kick. There'll be less than 10 seconds on the clock. Raiders will get probably one use of the football. In fact, they won't even bother. They'll let it roll dead. And that will be the game. 36 points to 14. 36 points to 14. Darwin brothers are victorious over the Palmerston Raiders. The last time these two teams met, Darwin brothers won the game, and tonight they've been successful again. The brothers move to 12 points, the Raiders remain on 10. You'd expect the Bears will get a win tonight and will also join brothers on 12. And the big three, they're separated now. As players congratulate each other, great sign of sportsmanship. It was a hard-fought battle, but in the end, Darwin brothers ran out victors here, 36 to 14.
Yeah, certainly overwhelmed by a strong possession count in that second half through mistakes, and Raiders were able to keep themselves in the game, and they won't disgraced.